What is crisis proofing marketing operations? This is if uh, all heck breaks loose. It's if someone gets hit by a bus. It's the worst case scenario of how do you make sure that you can still function as a marketing department while other things are happening, maybe outside the business, inside the business, that are really impacting your company. So, a couple of things to think about is, do you have remote collaboration tools? So, even if you are in the office full time, or maybe you're working hybrid, do you have the option of, and do you have tools in place to where you can do project management and meetings and documents remotely? Um, I think the pandemic set up a lot of companies for this worst case scenario, but making sure that those are still in place today, even if you are in the office full time, making sure that your team has access to that. So if people do have to work from home, if they're traveling, if they're whatever it may be, making sure that they can still access things. The other thing is proposal production, especially for those project pursuit specialists in the AEC world, making sure that you have your InDesign files are cloud based. So if you are doing InDesign on your desktop, making sure that those are being saved up in the cloud with shared libraries. So if you have a team member that needs to take on that effort, that they will be able to access everything that you have accessed. And then also having a plan for digital production. So if you have a team member that maybe has stepped in and they're in a regional office and you are needing to print that in a different office, making sure that you have worked through those steps. What does that look like? And making sure that whoever needs to print something, it's actually going to get done in the right order. The other thing is continuity planning. So if you have a team member leave, if you have a team member coming on, if you have a team member that they move to a different department in your company, if someone needs to go out on medical leave, you really want to think about what options do you have for a cloud-based storage option, not just your InDesign files, but Word documents, Google Docs, whatever it may be, making sure that you have that cloud-based storage plan in place. A digital asset management system, you really want to have that so that people can easily find logos and graphics and whatever kind of assets your company easily uses. You want to be able to access that. Shared access to templates and tools. So making sure that that doesn't live just in one person's personal login information. You want to be able to share that with the whole team. And then also documenting all of your marketing processes. That may seem like a heavy lift, but in a crisis mode, it is a huge help to know what comes first, what comes next, and also the people in place that need to help make those processes happen. It does help to where you can take emotion out of the situation and you're just following that process that you and your team have decided that that's the right thing to do, and you're following that in a moment of crisis. The other thing is having a contact list for all key stakeholders. So let's say that your manager is dealing with a crisis and they don't know who to contact if the website's down. You want to be able to have that information available so that if you're on PTO, or if you're out of the office, or if you're the one that's on medical leave, they know who to contact without having to rely on one single individual at the company. I also encourage everyone to play a what if scenario. So this is where crisis proofing comes into play of, what if we happen to lose access to all of our online folders? How do you still pursue a project? How do you make sure that maybe a sub-consultant is getting the information that they need? Just making sure that you play through that situation. You can also do a what if scenario of alternative submission methods. So if someone's been working on a project pursuit and you know file access goes down, something happens to where you can't access it, do you have another backup plan to where, hey, yes, we know it's gone down, here's our plan B or plan C? And having those just in your back pocket, it really does save you a lot of heartache in the moment to know, hey, we've already planned this out. We've planned for the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario happened. We have a game plan in place and we can tackle it efficiently.